Hey, Jennie and Levi. My name is Amber, and I'm from North Carolina. My husband and I are both in full time ministry working together at our church. We recently had our first baby. Our little guy is about 1.5 years old now. So, my question is, what's your best advice for couples that are working together in ministry, specifically young couples who are new to that journey, working together, and new to parenting? What is your best advice for us? Thank you so much. I love you both. So appreciative of everything that you do for the kingdom.
Mm.
And I can't wait to hear from you.
Amber, you're amazing. You
Aw,
sound so
thank
awesome.
you,
Do
Amber.
you know what my favorite thing about that is they're doing it together. They're serving
Yes.
together. They're gonna follow this call in their lives together.
Yeah.
And that's the grand adventure, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that's true.
I don't have my best advice. How about our third best advice? I actually think that is high pressure because you don't. There's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow, where he says if you ask someone who's a genius, they'll say Einstein. If you ask them who's their favorite painter, but composer, they'll say Mozart. He said, but if you actually try and get to your third, you might get less of the Google. You know what I mean? So,
Well, if you're
Jennie,
thinking fast, that's Levi. If you're
what's
thinking
your
slow, that's Jennie.
third best piece of advice for navigating ministry and marriage together? What are some pitfalls to avoid?
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. I think that what's exciting is that you've started together. Your baby boy is going to grow up in this. And I think that what Levi said, like doing it together is key. And knowing that it's going to be messy and beautiful and worth it and hard and troubling and terrific and
Troubling. It's so true.
I think just knowing all that, but
because where no oxen are, the trough is clean.
Mm-hmm. And we're imperfect people leading imperfect people, and it's so beautiful. Like this morning, we were having a staff meeting with our staff and hearing stories about the weekend and what God's doing and how He's building and growing. I just the whole time was just so humbled. Like, oh my gosh, God has decided to use us to reach people and to make much of Him and to glorify His name and to tell people how good Jesus is. And that's incredible. And then in the next moment, I don't know, dealing with just hard stuff in leadership. And I think that just knowing that there is, again, that tension to be managed. But I think what Levi said, just the key thing of together and knowing that you are together fighting forward, together honoring God in your marriage, in your family, in your ministry. And I think keeping first things first, like for me, I can get easily overwhelmed by all the things that I need to do and the people I need to meet with or whatever. But I think remembering that for me, my number one priority and privilege is ministering to Levi and my kids and my home. And then from there, like God's just been so faithful to help me see like the people in our life that we get to serve and lead. And he makes a way, he makes room in my heart and in ways when I feel like I have just a tiny plate where I can only handle certain things, but I focus on those things, then he just blesses me with the ability to get to do all the other things. And sometimes I look and I'm like, I don't know how all these things happen, but God's just good. When He calls us, He gives us the strength and He gives us the bandwidth, and He is everything we need. And so there's freedom in that.